All right, we're going to continue with those conversions. We're just going to be dealing with just the customary conversions. So again, as we start working through this one, excuse me, I'm going to have that 15,840 feet. So feet is my label here. Okay. It wants me to get everything into miles. So looking on that chart that you had, there was one that had a label for miles and feet. Whatever label I had on the top over here, remember, I want to put that on the bottom of those train tracks. That way I can cancel them out. So I've got feet to miles. I do have that step. And then what I will look at, I'm going to look and see what those numbers are. And it says there is 1 mile, or in 1 mile, there is 5,280 feet. All right. As soon as I do that, I'm getting my pen out just so you can show you what I'm doing. I've got my numbers down there. I can cross off my labels. Okay, I canceled out feet because there's a feet on the top and there's a feet on the bottom. Now I'm left with only miles as my label. So far I'm doing everything perfect. I'm going to take 15,000. Let me kind of get rid of this little part. I got 15,840 times 1. That gives me 15,840 over 5,280. Okay, I already saw that my label is correct. So I'm going to do that 15,840 divided by 5,280. And when I do all the math, I get 3 as my number. So it is 3 miles. And then I can put it on this chart as 3 miles. Okay, those are the steps that we're going to do to change them from one label to the next label. All right, I'm going to go down to this next one. We've got quarts to gallons. All right, same way that we're going to set it up. We're going to write our first number. I've got 28 quarts. Okay, making this train track over here. Sorry, my lines aren't very straight. Probably not great for the train. But I've got quarts to gallons. We're going to look on that sheet. On the sheet, it does have both quarts and gallons in the same measurement. So I've got quarts on the bottom and then gallons on the top. Remember, it's going to be on the bottom, so that way they are on opposite sides of the tracks. And once I look at it, it says there are 4 quarts in 1 gallon. Make sure that I have the numbers in the correct spot. So make sure the 4 goes with quarts and then 1 goes with a gallon, just like it shows in the chart. I'm going to cross off the like terms. So quart is on the top, quart is on the bottom. I get rid of it. I do have only the label of gallons left. So I do 28 times 1. That gives me 28 over 4. I can do the division there. 28 divided by 4. That gives me 7 is my answer. So it's 7 gallons. I'm going to put 7 right there. Okay. This is one that we started working on right when we ran out of time in class. Okay. I showed all the steps of all the labels. So I'm going to go through and just explain what I did. Looking at that chart, we couldn't go straight from gallons to ounces. There was too much stuff going on. But we can go from gallons to quarts. So I had gallons and quarts. And then I saw that I can go from quarts to pints, pints to cups, and then cups to ounces. I have all of those things. So I know that I can work my way through with all my labels to change it from gallons to ounces. So before I start crossing off my labels, I just want to make sure that I show you the numbers where they go. So I've got 1 gallon is 4 quarts. Again, make sure those numbers match up with the labels that we had. The rule said I have 1 quart is the same as 2 pints. There are 1 pint is the same as 2 cups. And then it said in 1 cup, there was 8 ounces. All right. So I'm going to work my way across, just double checking all my labels. So gallons to gallons, those ones cross off. Quarts and quarts cross off. Pints on top, pints on bottom, they cross off. Cups to cups, they cross off. I only have one label left, and that is ounces. That tells me I set it up correctly. Now I can go through, and now I can multiply everything across. Let me grab my calculator. So I'm going to take all the things on top, and I'm going to multiply them. I've got a 5. And times 4, times 2, times 2, times 8. So 5 times 4 times 2 times 2 times 8. All of that equals 640 over, let's look in the bottom. I've got 1 times 1 times 1 times 1. That equals 1. So the final answer that I have is I've got 5 gallons equals 640 ounces. All right, for the next one, I've got 40 ounces. I want to change that to cups. So I'm going to start off. I've got 40. Ounce is my label. OZ. Make those train tracks. Do they have one that goes from ounces to cups? And if you look on there, they do have one that does ounces to cups. So ounce is my label on top. I want to make sure that my ounce is the label on the bottom. Cups is my label on top. So I'm going to put a C on the top. The rule said in 1 cup, there was 8 ounces. I'm going to go through, cross off my like terms. So ounces on the top, ounces on the bottom, they cancel out. Now I get to multiply straight across. I've got 40 times 1. That gives me 40 over 8. I get to divide that. 40 divided by 8 equals 5. So I've got 5 cups. And I can put that on here. 40 ounces equals 5 cups. Okay. Number 6 is going to work the exact same way. You can go ahead and try to work that. Hit pause if you need to. All right, but if you have it, 24 ounces is my label on the top. Train tracks there. I've got ounce on the bottom. I've got cups on the top. 8 ounces in 1 cup. My labels cross off. Go straight across. 24 divided by 8. I should end up with 3. 24 ounces is 3 cups. Okay. 7A. This one's 96 ounces to pounds. Okay, you look on that chart. We've got ounces. Okay, we've already had ounces when we were measuring with cups, but they do have another one when you're looking at the customary units of weight. So the one on the very, very bottom of the sheet, way down there. Okay, we have ounces to pounds. Remember, my label of ounces needs to be on the bottom. Pounds needs to be on top. In 1 pound, there is 16 ounces. My labels, I can cross those off. Ounce to ounce. I get to multiply straight across. 96 times 1 equals 96 over 16 times 1 is just 16. I take 96 divided by 16. I am left with 6 for my answer, and I get 6 pounds. All right. This next one, I've got feet to yards. Looking on there, I can do that in 1 step. So I got 21 feet. If we're going to look at the customary units of length on the very top right, they do have feet to yards. I've got feet here, FT. I've got yards up here. I want to make sure that my numbers match up. So it says 3 feet and 1 yard. I'm going to cross off the like terms. Feet get crossed off, feet get crossed off. I'm left with the label that I want, which I am very happy about. I get 21 over 3. Divide that stuff out, I get 7. So my final answer on that one is going to be 7 yards. Okay. Going through a lot of the sample problems, but again, I've got 10 tons. Make those train tracks. I do have one that goes from tons to pounds. Okay. It is 1 ton equals 2,000 pounds. Again, the trick is to make sure your labels are crossing off. You get the opposite side. So tons are on the top, ton is on the bottom. Now I get to multiply straight across. 10 times 2,000, that gives me 20,000. 1 times 1 is just a 1. So my final answer is going to be 20,000 pounds. Okay. Pints to quarts, I think you guys got it. Feet to inches, I think you'll have it. Quarts to ounces is going to be a tough one. Lots of steps. And then we've got 16 cups to quarts. I'm going to work these ones, but if you wanted a chance to work those through on your own, you can try those ones. I got 2 pints to quarts, 2 feet to inches, 1 quart to ounces, and then 16 cups to quarts. All right, I'll start working it. I've got pints to quarts. Looking on my chart, I can do that in one step. It says pints are down here, quarts are on top. It said there are 2 pints in 1 quart. I'm going to cross off the like terms. Pints and pints get crossed off. And I get 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 1 is 2. When I divide this one out, I end up with 1. So 2 pints is the same as 1 quart. I've got feet to inches. This one says 2 feet. Make those train tracks. I've got feet to inches. I can make that in one step. So I've got feet down here. I've got inches on top. The rule says it is 1 foot is the same as 12 inches. I'm going to cross off the like terms. Oop, scroll down. Feet gets crossed off. Feet gets crossed off. I can go straight across. Also, I want a different color because I'm tired of seeing this blue all the time. So I get 2 times 12. That gives me 24 over 1. So 24 divided by 1. 2 feet is the same as 24 inches. So great. All right, this is one of those that has a lot of steps, or not a lot of steps, but it does have a good chunk of steps. And we're going to work this one. I've got 1 quart. Hopefully you're able to see right away that you cannot do this in one step. But we can go from quarts to pints. Make that train track. We can do pints to cups. Make another train track. And then we can go from cups to ounces. Again, I'm showing you those steps. I'm showing you the labels before I even put the numbers down just to show that I can get from one to the other. Now I'm going to go through and I'm going to put down my labels. In 1 quart, there are 2 pints. In 1 pint, there are 2 cups. In 1 cup, there are 8 ounces. I'm going to go through. I'm going to get rid of those like terms. Okay, so I can get rid of the quarts. Perfect. I got a pint in the top and the bottom. I can get rid of those. Got a cup on the top and bottom. I can get rid of those. The only label I have left is ounces. So far, things are going fantastic. Okay, so I've got 1 times 2 times 2 times 8. Okay, if you want to put that into a calculator, by all means, you are okay to do so. But 2 times 2 times 8 equals 32. 1 times 1 times 1 is 1. So 1 quart is 32 ounces. All right, on to number 10. I've got cups to quarts. So 16 cups. And I want to change it to quarts. As you can see, there is not one that goes straight to quarts. So I'm going to do those same things where I'm going to put some labels down. I've got cups, and they can go to pints. And then from pints, I can go to quarts. Fantastic. Let's look what those numbers are. There are 2 cups in 1 pint. There are 2 pints in 1 quart. Let's go through. Let's cross off those like terms. So cups and cups cancel out. Pints and pints cancel out. And I am left with only the label of quarts on the top. So I did it right. I'm going to change a new color just to really change things up. I got 16 times 1 times 1. That gives me 16. Over 2 times 2 is 4. I do want the unit rate, so I'm going to do 16 divided by 4. I end up with 4. It tells me there are 4 quarts in 16 cups. All right, very last one. We've got 6 pints, and I want to change that to quarts. So I'm going to look at the sheet that I have. I've got 6 pints. Can I make that change from pints to quarts in one step? Hopefully you're getting pretty good at finding it on the chart. Yes, you can. You can change it from pints to quarts. The rule is there are 2 pints in every 1 quart. Okay, I'm going to check my labels to make sure I canceled off everything that needed to get canceled off. So pints and pints get canceled off. I only have quarts left over, so I am good right now. And I'm going to multiply straight across the top. I got 6 times 1, that's 6. 2 times 1 is 2. I want the unit rate, so 6 divided by 2 gives me 3. There are 3 quarts in 6 pints. All right, at this time, you will be given your worksheet. There are 10 questions on it. Very, very similar to the ones that we just got done doing. It's all dealing with the customary units and only the customary units. We're not working on the metric units right now. We will do a little bit more of this on Monday as well.